Okay. Thank you, Lara. Thank you, Mash, for joining me today. I truly appreciate your presence. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ngina Kieti, and for those who are continuing to listen, thank you, thank you, thank you. As promised, on 29th of April, here with is a panelist of experts who are a forte in the field of dating. Yes, we must all agree that there comes a times whereby you have to ask help into the simple things of life. This is because despite the last census in 2020 showing that in Qatar, the male population is 76% and the female population is 24%, it's becoming absolutely difficult for me as a person to explain. Why are you not dating? So today I have brought in the experts so that they can give us tips and we can be able at least to learn from them. With that, I would like to invite over Lara to introduce herself.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So, my name is Lara. I am originally from Germany, but I was born and raised in America. And then after that, I kept on traveling here and there to the Middle East, to Europe, and right now I am settled in South Africa. I'm a psychiatrist by professional. So thank you so much, Nagina, for this wonderful opportunity that you have given to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Mash. Mash, please introduce yourself.
Hi, guys. Welcome to our lovely session. Thank you, Nagina, for introducing us and for having us on this wonderful podcast. My name is Mash. I am originally from India, but born, raised, and settled in Canada. And I am a kindergarten teacher by profession. So thanks for joining us, and I hope you guys enjoy this.
Yeah, we are all gonna have fun, ladies. So let's start this. What is the definition of dating, Lara?
Well, we can't put in only one definition into it. Dating is something that is a vast, what should I say, a vast subject where, you know, in order for you to be dating, you need to know exactly what you're looking for. You can't just be in the pond, don't know what type of fish do you want to catch. So like for me personally, what I think dating is, it is something that should come from within initially, before that you can go into the market, or you can go into the what should I say, in quotes, the outside world, that is the dating world, of the world of love. So you have to know exactly what are your standards, what are you looking for, and what are your what exactly are you there for. So you have to show yourself that you are a person that is strong and someone that can be able to uphold what can be thrown at you. So as I said, Nagina, the dating is not, for me personally, what I say dating means is something, it should be two-way. It can't be only one way. So to put in a nutshell, that is what I define dating as.
Mash, do you agree dating has to be two-way?
Of course. For me, I think it's like, the general idea of dating is already out there, but at the same time, it's also subjective for everyone, right? So for me, I would say it's like a trial and error phase. That's what I call it, trial and error. Yeah. So it's just two people, trying to see if they're compatible. And I think the main important point of dating is to be honest for what you're looking for, because then it just beats the whole purpose of the whole stage. Like, people need to be honest with each other. But yeah, it's just the phase that comes before the after. And yeah, it's a short and sweet definition for me.
No, Mash, I'm going to go back to you because you keep on saying a face.
Yeah.
So
because
when it comes to faces, there has to be a definite rules. So what are the rules for dating so that we can be able to expound on the definition?
Well, I think you have to be open-minded. Like you need to expect everything, not just the good. You need to expect that, oh, this might actually go wrong. It's not always gonna go your way. Yeah.
And I agree on that. And I agree on that. Yes, it's true. Like you cannot expect everything to be going your way, and like there are going to be some downs. Everything has its ups and downs. It comes back in dating too. Like today it might be a fairy tale, tomorrow it might be a volcano, the next day it can be a disaster. So I do agree with that. Mash.
Exactly. And
Yes, Mash.
sorry, go ahead.
No, continue.
Yeah, because I feel, when people go with dating with, it's good to go with a positive mindset, but not to go with a mindset where, oh, this is gonna work out, like, or have this grandiose, thinking that, oh, okay, I'm good at dating, I know everything about dating, or the other person I'm seeing is well rounded. You never know, and the thing is, people get disappointed. So for you to not be disappointed, so soon, it's better to go with a open perspective that it could go very bad, very good, in between. So that's one of many rules.
I keep on hearing bad. So I
Yeah.
need somebody really to define to me bad as a 2-year-old. You can take it up, Lara. Tell me bad. Because if I go out there, are we saying that if somebody is physically abusive, I should take it because it's dating?
No, no,
Uh-huh.
because when it comes to personality, let me go to that field. When it comes to someone's character or personality,
Uh-huh.
like if someone is behaving bad or someone is behaving in an evil way towards you,
Uh-huh.
you as a person should not accept that, because we all are humans. We have our own needs and wants. So like if someone comes to us with a negative energy, run, girl, run.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh,
so for me, I am what I my personal opinion is, if someone comes to you and is negative and is abusive, you need to get out through that door. And I'm telling you now. So so like, and basically like how Mash has said,
mhm,
like you have to come in it as something positive. You need to come into it, you should introduce yourself like it's something positive. Let's not think about the negative in this already negative world.
mhm.
So we have to think of it in something positive, and something that we are going to gain from it. Because if we go into it in a negative mindset, it will go on like that, and it will end up in a very negative situation. Back to you, Nikita.
Thank you. So let me get this straight. We do need to accept the bad, and by the bad, we don't mean violence or abusive. By the bad, we mean that maybe somebody being a bit too busy for us for a particular date, or maybe a date getting
Yeah,
cancelled. But
yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
let me
yes,
stick.
yes.
Let me stick to the rules, because I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, I was told dating is not about dating one person until the two of you decides to be exclusive, so that this apply to the multiple dates you go to as you look for a person? Or do we say that dating is only specific for you to go with one person maybe for the next 3 months without looking at other people?
I think
Yeah,
Yes,
go
Mash.
ahead, Mash.
I think, you shouldn't go out dating so many. Maybe there's a certain amount of cap you want to keep for yourself. It depends, because if you go on the first 3 dates and, for example, you don't find someone interesting, of course your count of the number of people you go and see will increase. But I feel you need to give specific amount of time to people. Like, dating is not about being, just with one person exclusive, because you haven't reached that stage yet. So I feel you need to go and, experience different people, talk to different people, but have a certain amount of time spent with one person, each, maybe like 2 to 3 weeks to try to get to know them. Because I feel, going from one person to another too quick just doesn't allow you to get to for you to know the person that well, because first of all, it takes a lot of time to know someone, even if it's just initial meeting, it takes a lot of time. So I feel you still have to spend a specific amount of time before going and meeting someone else.
Ah,
How
what
do
do
you
you
feel about that, Lara?
exactly?
Okay, I'll go a little bit against you, Mash, in this question, because what I feel is because we are living in a new century, a new brand new year, that's 2022, wherein the dating has now been a little bit tougher than how it was before. So, and like how we have also, I don't know whether you have seen that program wherein Will Smith's daughter came out saying that she also is not up to dating only one person, and she feels that in today's generation, it is difficult. It is difficult to be only dating one person for like 5, 6 months, leaving alone others. To me, I am slightly changed my opinion right now that we need to, like how you said, that you need to have different hats on, and sorry, caps on. But in the same way, like I believe, and please girls don't jump on me, but I believe that we need to, at least date 2 to 3 people at once, just to like see how how compatible we are with these people, and then settle on, because we are still in the testing stage. Unless and until it's something official, we are still in the testing stage. Unless and until you don't see a ring in the finger, well, I think it is okay to date 3, 4, even more. So that is, I'm up to that opinion.
Yeah, but you mentioned something very interesting. Will Smith's daughter.
Yes.
She said
Yes.
she's a poly, actually.
Yes.
I remember that episode.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, she said
Yes.
she's poly,
Yes.
that she can
Yes.
date. And so what do you think?
Yes.
Does dating multiple people define one as poly, or there is a separation between being polyandrous, polyamorous, polygamy to being that I am dating, I am trying to look for that one person? Lara, take over.
Well, to me, what she stated is I'm with her. Okay, I don't take it as a polygamy, because initially, like again, it comes to different person's opinion. So to me, I don't see it as a polygamy, but to me, I see it like we are still in, as I said to you in the beginning, that we are still in the testing stage, and we are just putting our one toe into the pound. So like it is for me, it is okay, if not for all. It's not for all, obviously, but I think it not I think I am in the opinion that it is a good move to at least date 2, 3 people at once, just to get to know who you are and what your needs are, and how how you are going to select that one and only one.
Oh, nice. Mash, any other thing
Yeah.
about multiple dating now that you've had Lara's opinion?
No, I don't think someone would say someone who's seeing or dating different people polygamous, because we haven't gone to that stage of being exclusive. Well, polygamous relationships are not really exclusive; they involve other people. But like I said, this brings back to our first the definition of dating. This is just a testing phase to see who we are compatible with. So obviously we are going to see multiple people and engage with them, see who we gravitate to the most, and then when we finally make our decision, yeah, we'll think about we be more consistent with that certain person that we pick.
Right.
So I don't think this is polygamous. I don't know how people interpret it, but to
No,
me,
I don't feel it is polygamy.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't
Yeah.
think
It
it's
is
any type
not.
of poly.
It's
I
not.
think it's about testing this, what I'm figuring out. Is this compatible
Yes.
with me? Is this person compatible with me? So that's like
Yes.
one famous
Yes.
friend of mine said, if one leaves, you have the other one to back on. And if the other one sticks, okay, this is the person that I'm meant to be with, because they
True.
understand me as the individual. I wish I'd listened to her. Show me that 15 years ago. I was like, no, you need to be exclusive. You need to date a person. You need to understand them, and then you go.
Yeah, but Nagina, the thing is, we need to evolve like how the world is evolving. We
Exactly.
cannot still use the same principles of, like the ones, the 2000, the 2001. Like we need to evolve with the modern times, wherein it's getting competitive nowadays.
Listeners, that should tell you the age difference between me, Lara, and Mash, because we are totally from different generations. I think I am their generation Z. I think they'll kick me their generation Y. That should tell you a point of view. And that's why I felt that they are the people who are going to tell us. Now, talking about the whole generation gap, we have seen that in modern times there are so many places where people can go and get into dating platforms. So what are the best avenue for one to mingle? Do you do the dating site because our generation is busy on the phone, or do you do clubs and hobbies? Mash, over to you.
So, like Nagina got it right before, we have been brought up in a generation of technology, advancing technology. And I think, in my experience, honestly, when I got into dating, it was through online. It was never, through a colleague or meeting someone outside the workplace, or you through a mutual group of friends. It was my very first platform was through dating websites. So I have seen people use Tinder. I have seen people use, Bumble, OkCupid. Now, this is my personal opinion. I have used OkCupid, and amongst all the dating apps, which I probably have used just 3 or 4, I found OkCupid to be more interesting, because if you see the way the platform is designed, even the profile, right, the character count they have in the profile allows the person to actually explain themselves and talk about themselves, their bio. See, when you are on a dating platform, what's the first thing that catches your eye? Well, obviously it's pictures, but apart from pictures, you cannot tell someone's personality right off the bat. So I think the bio is what catches me, even if the person could be lying. People lie on their bios all the time, because you could speak to them, and then when you suddenly speak to them, it's like, what person did I see, and what person am I speaking to? So they could lie, definitely, but I think that's one of the few things that worked for me was OkCupid, because people had they were more honest about themselves, compared to Tinder. I have met a couple of good people who are basically become my friends now off of Tinder. But I found yeah, but I found OkCupid to be pretty interesting.
I don't know about you. I mean, actually, I'm in all those platforms,
Mhm.
basically.
Yeah.
And over the years, I think they have evolved more to getting stories as opposed to interaction, such that I've
Mhm.
completely forgotten how to interact in those platforms. Because I feel that the interaction language of technology is just too, I don't want to use the word blah, and I don't want to use the word loose. So, Lara, which is the best to mingle? Because you have seen my chat when you came to visit me the other time, and you were totally making fun of me. You were like, I was just too formal. So go with that.
Okay, the thing is, like, I was not so advanced like Mash. For me, it was in Hotmail. Believe it or not, I was in MSN chat room. MSN chat room. I know
I
that you all
remember
remember
those.
that. You remember that,
I
girl.
remember
Girl,
that.
you
I
remember that.
I only
Gosh.
I only used to game. I only used to game. I used to speak to my
Girl,
gamers.
Nagina is my girl. Seriously,
Yes,
you remember that? You remember when that
I have
Hotmail
been
came
there.
out?
Yes, 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 yes.
You remember when the chatting thing just came up and you're also
Yes, and
excited?
there was Yahoo and Hotmail, and they had the chat
Oh,
Yahoo,
room and the
yes.
Lara,
dating
you
chat.
started
Yes.
so young. I was an innocent kid just playing Club Penguin still back then.
Exactly.
So,
So,
so that's where I started off
uh-huh.
in MSN chat. That's where
Mhm,
I got my first ever
mhm,
guy that I dated in.
mhm.
So like it was there where I started off. Like it was we didn't meet face to face, but then again that was like how I have started off with, and then of course as I said, within time I grew off of that. Then I went to Tinder. Then I went to now I am in MeetMash. So like that, it keeps on of course improving, but to me and but for me especially, I like to see people live. I like to meet people live. I don't believe in apps because people can hide things behind those the screen. And
I,
once you see them, you're like how Mash said, is like, was that you that I was chatting with? And it causes you disappointment. Believe me, it does.
I don't know,
You know,
I
we
know.
know. Oh, it does, it does. And then after it causes you disappointment, and then you get that negativity in you. You're like, am I that bad? Am I this? And then you turn to yourself. But once you meet a person face to face, and like through, like, for example, a mutual friend, or like, for example, you are just like walking somewhere, like in a party, and someone just comes up to you. I know, call me superficial, but I feel that is something that you need to go back to. This apps, you know I don't know, is a bit too much now.
I
Just a
know
bit too much.
somebody who has completely failed in the apps, and I always say this, and it's not something
Mhm.
that I say it with a badge of honor, that I'm in so much blocked numbers among
Mm.
this region, because I totally don't understand their chat. But the moment we meet somebody face to face, like Lara said, the language is different. The language
Yes, yes,
becomes easier. The language, we kind of have this sort
yes,
of understanding. And the fact that
yes,
I can see their body language makes
yes,
it even
yes.
easy for me to communicate with them. I been catfished, so I know what you mean about having that disappointment. And I'm
Mhm,
somebody
mhm.
who tends to change my hairstyle a lot. So I've had people question, is that you? Because they think I'm catfishing, because they're like, oh, why do you have so many different hairstyles in so many photos? Duh, I'm African. I wear a different hairstyle every 3 to 4 weeks. I need to be a different woman.
Yes.
But the only way you would understand this is if we met face to face. And I do appreciate apps, but I'm honestly getting tired of gathering friends. I was checking my phone. I have 676 contacts. Seriously, over 200 of them
and
are people I
And
have
that's
gathered
and you don't
online,
and you don't know them, exactly, and you
and
don't
I
know them
don't know them.
personally.
So now I have to start going deleting, because I'm like, okay, this now is becoming a
I
security
agree.
risk, a
yeah,
security risk, a
that's actually
security.
what I was getting into,
Mhm,
because I see people being dismissive towards the apps, because of course a lot of people like meeting someone in real time.
mhm.
But if you
Mhm.
see the time and the world we live in now, I think the apps are probably the most efficient way to interact with someone on an initial basis. I think they are helpful so long as you make it a point to meet it in person, because I don't think that will go on for very long if you're just doing it online, and you don't know what you want. So I think apps do work for at least because it covers a wide area. You can you don't even have to interact with people somewhere where you're located. You can interact with someone anywhere around the world, right? And
I
if you
agree. I
spark a
agree. I
connection,
agree.
you can always
Mm.
make sure to close the distance or try to meet up. So they do work in this world we live in. They definitely do work, at least to get in touch with as many people. But yeah,
I
it depends
agree.
on how you take it forward.
No, I agree.
I agree. I agree. I
Exactly,
agree.
exactly. How do we take it forward? Because meeting people on the apps is not hard. It's quite easy.
It is
Matching
very
up,
efficient.
just
Yeah.
swiping right, and you match up with the person. But the problem is, how do we convert? I think people are obsessed with the apps, because I have been in places whereby I'm alone and I'm walking and somebody's not talking to me. And the next thing, I get a message on my Instagram where somebody said, hey, I saw you in city center. Hey, I saw you in Villaggio. Why did you not come to say
And say
hello?
hello. Yeah.
I am your
Exactly.
follower
Exactly.
on
True.
Instagram.
True. True.
I like what
Yes.
you post.
Exactly.
I don't like what you post. I think you do good if you did this and that, talk. But we are
Mhm,
so much
mhm.
obsessed with the phone that we have now
Yes.
forgotten how to communicate face to face.
Wouldn't it be
Exactly.
easier to just approach someone? I think that's so much
That's
easier,
so
rather than
easy. It's much
rather than going
easier.
home
I
and
think
then trying to get in.
I think it would be easier, but at the same time, I have been told, and this is several times through Toastmasters and through all the platforms that I've interacted, that if you see me walking, I have a face like I'm going to war. So maybe somebody is afraid like, that one will punch me. No, definitely, please. Usually it's the sun applying to block out my blind
Nagina,
eyes.
if the people see this video, we're gonna vouch for you. So now they're gonna see the side that they missed out on.
And let's stop
Exactly.
collecting friends. Exactly. So, ladies, I think we can just end the part one over here with Lara and Mash, starting with Lara. You giving us a dating experience that taught you something so that the listeners can try and figure out, do I really want to go the face-to-face, or do I want the Prince Charming who will knock me over in a restaurant? Over to you, Lara.
Thank you, Regina. I will say one of my experience that just didn't happen that long time ago, wherein I was in this app, Tinder, and I was just looking for, like, something friendship, something serious. And up comes this person, like, that was really interested in me, and I was interested in him, and blah blah blah. We went on and we started chatting. So up to this time, I didn't know what his status is, what his marital status is. I didn't know that he's single, married, divorced, whatever. So, anyways, we go to this. He asked me to come out with him. So we decided to meet in Albida. We decided to meet in one of the parks that was available that time. So we met there, and I see this person, and I am like, okay, he looked like more like a 50-year-old. And then I asked him, is this are you? And he was like, yeah. And you are Lara? I'm like, yes, I am. And we just started talking from there. He tells me that he was married twice and he has two kids, and he is now separated. And I was like,
it's like warning bells.
That's what.
We have not yet reached the warning. Continue.
And seriously, I was like, I didn't know how to get up from there. I had no transport. I had nothing. I didn't have plan B, nothing. My plan was to go back home with him. Anyways, then I had, because it was so sweet in the apps while we were chatting. Okay, but then at the end of the day, I take a cab and I run for it. I'm like, bye, never ever hearing or seeing you. So yeah, that was my first experience.
No, thank you, Lara, for talking about the apps, because I remember telling you ladies that the other day, I don't know about you where you are, but where I am, I'm finding it that men are not giving women transport money. Where I'm from, Kenya, there are memes about transport money, about men giving women transport money and it disappearing. Here, you are your own. You have to make sure you go to where you are meeting and you go back home. There will be no transport. I don't know at what point that disconnect happened, or maybe I'm just in the wrong country where we are all struggling. I do not know.
Oh, but that's interesting though, where you are at, the guys pay for your transport.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
do they?
Yes.
Do they?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I used to get.
So it's like, it's natural.
Yes, and I'm not gonna say that I'm an international dater, so I date people from other races, and it didn't matter whether they came from US, UK, or Australia, or even India. They give me transport money to go back home, and then they'll check out if I arrived okay. Here,
I think it's time to go and date in Kenya.
I think so. You should check online. There are even memes about it, about the way the guys are sending transport money and it's disappearing because the woman is not showing up. Please, Kenyan men, don't adapt what they do here. Please don't. People sending the transport money. We need the transport money. That helps. That
brownie points for you.
That shows you are a provider, and we love you for that. Gosh, your experience, please.
So one of my experiences goes back to, what I was talking about, completely different people from who I talked with online and the person I met in real life. So, this is this one guy. I think I was ready to meet him like after a week, or I think within the week we were talking, because he was that interesting. Like I was gravitated. He was very smart with his conversations, and the way he spoke about his family, about himself, humble guy. And then I think the day when we were supposed to meet, when he was 2 hours late, was, I just had this the really, really bad voice in my head saying, run, Mash, run. This is just not for you. And then, but I didn't listen. I did not listen to her. I was like, no, no, no. I want to give hope to people still. I want to still give him the benefit of the doubt. And yeah, he came 2 hours late, and we were walking around. I think we met in city center, and we were walking around city center, and he hit on the lady taking our tickets for the movies. He hit on her. He hit on the lady at McDonald's and Burger King. And I'm just like, I don't know what's up with this guy. Like, I don't care whatever he does, because I already lost interest in him. But it's just about, the respect. Like, you're meeting someone you got off of you met off of a dating app, and you're just here just winging it and meeting anyone and talking to them however you want. And honestly, I'm going to say the women were very awkward. He was this very super egoistic, overconfident guy. He thought he was hitting well, but no, the women were just feeling really awkward, and I had to actually apologize, to be very honest with you. Yeah. And then so when we went to the cinema, we got our tickets, and before we went to the cinema, he got his popcorn, and he said, "Ooh, I only pay for my dates." And I was like, "I never asked you to pay. I can pay for my own popcorn." I don't know why he was trying to tell that to me, but I was like, "That's fine, man. Nobody was asking you."
Men, do not listen to that. We want to be paid for.
I think it's just the way he said it, like,
I know. Our ego has to jump in.
Yeah. And then we went to the cinema, and I literally kept my bag in between, because I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it anymore, and I just wanted to stay away from him. But I didn't want to be rude, and I've told the story to many of my friends, and they just kept on asking me, why the hell didn't you just run? You don't owe him anything. I know I don't, but I think
Exactly.
it's just a little part of me that says, no, I don't want to be the bad guy. I want to make him the bad guy instead.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. So then he, in the middle, he says, "Oh, I gotta go to the washroom." And then I said, "That's fine." And then he says, "I'm gonna be back like after 20 to 25 minutes." I'm like, "Huh? You need 20 minutes to go to the washroom? What the hell are you gonna do?"
That's a hell lot of constipation. Okay.
And then
oh my God,
you won't even believe what he said. He said that he was gonna go and work out. And I'm like, yeah, I just had this, very poker face, and I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. Either you're trolling, or this is not a very funny joke. So he said, no, I want to keep my heart rate up. This is usually my workout time. I'm like, why the hell did you, accept to meet then? Who works out in a, mall bathroom? Exactly. And then he came back, and he acted so normal, and I was petrified, to be honest. And after that,
sat down for that long with the
exactly.
The
And he was I have no clue. And I'm just wondering what people might be thinking of him in the bathroom. Who the hell works out in a bathroom?
I do squats. I go 1, 2, 3, but I'm near the door. I'm like,
yeah.
And they are 20, and then I'm like, okay, for the
ladies. I was honestly praying he was doing this to ditch me. I was actually hoping from the bottom of my heart that he was not gonna come back, but he did, all sweaty, and I'm like, oh, this guy was not kidding. He actually worked out. And honestly, that was one of the weirdest experience. And after that, I think after we got out of the cinema, we just said goodbye, and he just ran off. Like, he just flew away. He was like, oh, I gotta go, see ya. And I'm like, all right,
seriously?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Oh dear.
And
okay.
yeah,
the horrors of dating. I thought my catfish was bad.
no, but I went home content, and I never spoke to him again.
Oh, perfect. I love that.
Good for you.
No, good for you. Honestly, I love that. No, I've been catfished, and it was during the pandemic time, when the pandemic was ending, and I was like, oh, I really need to go out. And the restaurants had just opened, and it was like in Qatar, it was 3 hours sorry, 2 hours, and then they could give you a bit of 3 hours, but it was 2 hours. And I'm meeting this guy. And for me, I love meeting people at the city center mall because it's crowded. It's crowded, really crowded. So security is there. So I've been chatting with this guy, and honestly, he was like coming like from 80 kilometers away. So you can imagine, I think it was Bahrain or something. And he drove.
Oh, wow.
And this is the most weird part. I've been chatting with this guy for like a week, but he never told me that the pictures were his roommates.
Oh.
Okay. And then I made the rookie error. I never did a video chat before because for me, I preferred having a video chat. And since I don't have VPN and VoIP is regulated in Qatar, so I cannot do WhatsApp calls. So usually people don't like coming to Zoom. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to disturb this guy, for heaven's sake. He's buying for me food. Let me go and meet him. So there I am. You know, you're looking at the photos, and I go to the restaurants where I normally go, and the people know me. And I looked at the lady and I said, oh, I'm here to meet somebody. And she pointed, and I'm like, sweetie, that is not the person I'm meeting. And she's like, yeah, he said he's coming to meet. Yeah. And we knew it's you because it's a place I go often. And I'm like, no, it's not. So I took out my phone and literally showed them the photo, and then they started laughing. They said, you know, you've been catfish.
Oh, shoot.
Because the guy that was standing there was completely opposite. He was older. And I'm not saying that I have an issue with older guys, for heaven's sake, I'm 40, so that should be my gen. But I have a problem with people who lie about themselves. So I decided, okay, maybe there's a confusion. So I just walked over to the table and I sat down and I looked at him and I said, you don't look like your picture. Then he goes, oh yeah, that's okay, because those pictures are for my roommate. I just use them to attract women. And I'm like, I've been chatting with you for a week. Don't you think you could have sent me your picture on WhatsApp and say, oh, by the way, the pictures I had uploaded are not me? And whatever. I said, oh no, I didn't think it was important because it's not a look thing. I said, I know it's not a look thing, but there's some small, tiny thing called integrity where you're not supposed to misrepresent yourself. That's where I appreciate again City Center, because the toilets are outside. I just looked at the guy and said, I am a toilet, and my dear, I left. I went, I booked an Uber, and I was out over there, blocked the guy.
Wow. You know, he could have avoided this entire situation because he knew he was going to meet you face to face.
Exactly.
So why didn't he just share his picture?
Exactly. Just share my picture and say, I'm sorry that the picture I have is for my roommate. This is how I look like, so that you know
how I look like. Yes.
I wouldn't have not gone to meet you, honestly. I would have met you, but to me, it's all about integrity, because if you can start lying about who you are from the beginning,
you don't know what else they're lying about.
Exactly.
Yes.
And honey, honestly, I would have loved to meet your roommate. If you can give me his number, I will meet.
I don't know if you people have watched this series 90 Day Fiance.
Not yet.
In TLC.
I've seen clips on Facebook, and they have where they meet and they whatever. And there was that story of the Nigerian and the American. The one who was having an issue with the visa. Yes, I remember.
And Angeli and Michael. Yes.
I don't remember who they are. All I know that they had issues with visa because it kept popping on my newsfeed.
Exactly. Nice. So your story is something like that. You have been like catfished, like you use another picture, and then you go all the way there.
No, but it's insane how people are creative and so believable from off the bat.
I know, but there's a problem about this generation, and we're going to talk about it when we come back in part 2, which will be next week, Friday. So Mash, Lara, thank you for your patience, and we will see you next week to continue this topic. Listeners, sorry, we have to take a small break, but keep it here. Have a wonderful weekend. And coming up in part 2, we're going to go about why people fake and toxic relationship, and when to know that dating is over and it is time to settle down. Later.
See ya.